Like all refugees, we have stories to tell you. Like all refugees, we have escaped the danger. The danger. Danger that you could not believe that human beings could overcome. Danger that I do not believe that I have survived. Nevertheless, my inside is always going to be broken. And this is what happens. The soldiers already came and took my father away. We know he's not going to come back. And the soldiers told my mother they're going to take her too, to get re-educated. And what's going to happen to me and my brothers and my sisters? We don't know. My mom said they're probably going to send us to the orphanage. I remember learning the words orphans. Orphans. We were orphans. But my mother was a very, very smart woman. She told the communist that she cannot be re-educated. She wanted to become a prostitute because she liked to wear makeup and beautiful dresses. So they say, they were very disappointed with her. But how is she going to escape with all her children? Well, my mother, again, a very, very determined woman. She went to the market. She found out there are fishermen will smuggle you across the ocean from China into Hong Kong. And she gathered the few belongings that she still have, and she went to the fishermen. She said, I like to hire 3 fishermen. Each one would take one of my child. I never thought that was a good idea. Why couldn't she put all 3 kids in one boat? Only afterwards I realized, how about if one boat get turned over? How about one boat get stopped by the soldiers, by the guards? Well, if she has 3, that's a better gamble, right? But the fishermen could not take my mother. She was too big, too visible. So they said, you have to swim across the bay and climb up into a cargo ship, and then somebody you bribe, a sailor, will hide you in an empty oil drum. Now you have to do all this. Swim across the bay, climb up a long rope, and then have your escape. Well, my mom decided all that is worth it, because she said, we're going to go to America, a country of freedom, a country of wealth. We will have chicken every day, she promised us. We said, wow. Our eyes grew big when we thought about that we can eat chicken every day. And she said, America. In Chinese, 美国 means beautiful country. And we just remember hearing that America is also the gold mountain. Their mountain is covered with gold, not like the Chinese mountain is covered with dirt. Well, my mother was well prepared. She went to the market, she bought cookies, she bought candy, and she bartered them away, giving them her bracelets of jade and necklaces, and she even got something for herself too. And we all had to change our regular clothes into fishermen's clothes. I remember we bought into the shack, and my regular clothes were taken off, and I was put on a little black cotton top, like a little jacket, and matching black pants, and matching black shoes. And then my mother gave each one of us candy and cookies. She thought we haven't had candy and cookies for a long time. We would be so happy. My brothers were. And they were willing to go off with these strangers, these fishermen who didn't even speak our tongue. And they went and climbed inside of an empty water drum or empty water barrel that they put in the middle of their boat. Well, by the time she got to me, she gave me an extra toy. She gave me a doll. And she said, "Oh, you're so lucky. When I went to the market, they have this cotton doll, and this rag doll. You will like it. And you're going to go on a boat with these fishermen, and you're going to be very happy. You have cookie, candy, and a doll." But I was a stubborn 5-year-old. I said, "No, no, Mommy, I'm not going to go. I don't want to go." I start jumping up and down, crying. Really throwing a temper tantrum. My mother thought everything was all set. And the fisherman's going to take off if I don't go, even though they already got paid. So she took out something out of her bag. She took out a large red apple. She said, "Would you take this?" I said, "What is that?" "An apple." The Chinese word for apple, 苹果, means the fruit of peace. And my mother says, in peaceful time, people hang red lanterns to celebrate. But now in a wartime, you don't see anyone hanging red lanterns. So the minute I saw this red apple in the marketplace, I gave the seller a jade ring just for this Japanese Fuji apple. And I thought if I carry it, I'll be carrying the good luck. But you're going to carry that. You're going to carry this lucky apple. And you're going to pray that we will come together in peacetime. And we will hang a big red lantern. And then she said, "Do you know, we're going to go to New York. And I heard that New York is called the red apple. You see that? This is a lucky fruit. You're going to carry that." And suddenly, I stopped thinking about being afraid because my mother was giving me a very big job. I had to carry the lucky fruit, the red apple. So I went inside the water barrel. I bent down. I sat there. I was holding the red apple. And the boat took off. But I was crying. I was crying because I didn't think I can be brave enough to do this. This is a very big job for a little girl. I was crying. But I was looking at this red apple the whole time in the dark. And for the first time, I was imagining, oh, this is our lucky fruit. This is going to be the magic fruit. I better hold it really tight. I better believe. I know we're going to get together. Mommy is right. This is a very wonderful thing. I'm so glad she made me carry this. I didn't know. After dark, my mother have to look around, see if the guards are guarding the bay, see if she can get across. And she was watching until the moon slid behind the clouds. Then, the shawl that her mother gave her, she put it over her head. And then, she said her prayers, and she dived into the dark, dark water. She never swum before, but she was swimming and dodging underneath the dark waves until there was a dark, dark rope right next to a cargo ship. And she held on to that and she climbed this dark rope. She had never climbed a rope before. And every time she loses her strength, she would see the faces of her children, me, my brothers. And then she will hold on to the rope tighter because that was her lifeline. She climbed and she climbed, and then the sailor tell her to go hide in the oil drum. In the middle of the night, she can hear some guard comes around hitting the oil drums. But my mother held her breath. And just before dawn, the sailor let her go down the rope again. She went down and then she swam until the sun came up. And she saw the signs of those fishermen. They had their names marked right on their boat. And she swam up to them. So by the sun came up, my mother had dried herself. I was having a cup of tea, waiting for us. Me and my two brothers were very, very lucky because that was a very beautiful night. The stars were bright and the waves were very calm. I remember just hearing the waves rocking against the boat, as if like we were back in the womb, safe. And I hear the fishermen, they were singing and talking to each other. I said, this is a lucky night. Me and my brother are gonna get there. That was true. But it took us a long, long time. Until the middle of the day, we got there. And when they let us come out of the barrel and climb up the pier, I heard my brothers yelling, "Ma!" They were yelling. They saw my mother in the distance. They were running. But I didn't run. I was so confused. By the time my mother got to me, I told her, I don't know what happened to the red apple. I held it very tight. But in the morning, it wasn't there anymore. My mother said, it's all right. We are safe. And we are going to go to New York. Yay! Well, that day, we went to our aunt's house. We took the double-decker bus. And my aunt had a huge watermelon for us. And we were eating. And we felt so lucky that we were safe. And we're going to go to New York, the Big Apple.